left behind in the good old days, they just keep on coming. Yeah, we're moving on. Got the world with me and no place I'd rather be than rolling.
Alright, so we made it to Salem, Mass, and we are getting ready to do a self-guided tour, walking tour.
Yep.
Through walk-in tour app. And we just got to our first location, which is the Ropes Mansion from Hocus Pocus.
Well, I think it's Hocus Pocus. We don't know yet. We haven't heard.
Alright.
So we're just starting it now.
So let's go. Press play.
Okay.
Location from the movie Hocus Pocus.
Good idea with
This
the
was Alison's
speaker.
house, and notably the scene with the trick-or-treaters. Built in the 1720s, the Ropes Mansion has seen its share of history. It's also hosted its fair share of ghosts. Welcome to Salem's famous ghost tour, created by those spooky folks at Walk-In Tours. I'm the ghost of Salem's past, and I'll be your personal tour guide on our ghostly adventure. Look up to the second floor of the Ropes Mansion. In 1774, Judge Ropes, a British loyalist, resided here. The revolutionaries didn't take kindly to loyalists, and one fine day they mobbed the house, throwing rocks from where you're standing right now. They demanded that he came out and face a traitor's fate. But the judge never showed his face. You see, the judge was slowly dying of smallpox inside the house. He was unable to move, and the following day he took his last breath, leaving his body, but not his house. Legend has it, his ghost now haunts these halls, perhaps waiting for the British Empire to return. The judge is occasionally seen sitting in his seat, where he debated politics with the likes of John Adams. He's also seen roaming the halls. He could be looking down at you right now.
To the center of the garden,
Keep an
there's
eye
a
out
sundial.
for any spirits lurking in the shadows. They're known to often wander these grounds. It's also common at those times to see Nabby's burnt ghost haunting the garden. Look around the garden. Nabby is known to whisper into intruders' ears and tap them lightly on the shoulder with her icy cold fingers. She should be just behind you right now.
So you guys haven't seen anything bad here in a long time, or weird?
There's always something weird going on. There's a lot of characters. You know, there really is. They come down and, you know, with any number of wicked weddings. We have wicked proposals. People come down and do rituals.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and, the ritual thing is what is like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, look at this. This is the first church in Salem, 1629.
To John Corwin, the judge of the infamous Salem witch trials. Legend has it, the pre-trial examinations of the accused witches were held in this house. During the Salem witch trials, hundreds of Salem residents were accused and arrested for witchcraft. By the time it finished, 19 people were hung and one was pressed to death. We'll see their memorial soon.
Alright, Noel, use that EMF detector, girl.
Black crows too. So it said stop down here at the corner and look up the 4th floor.
Look at the second floor now. It's also a popular haunt. The most haunted of all rooms is that of room 17. Visitors that attempt to sleep here often suffer from sleepless nights. They never know what'll happen. They die with the gunshots. If you're interested in staying the night, I'd suggest room 17, 40, or 13 for a frighteningly sleepless night.
That's it.
But guests say that they've seen things move off shelves, or felt the bed move, or felt people sitting on them, or they can see a print on the bed standing up. They've burned down videos of a white light going by the bed for years.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of activity.
The history and trauma of the Salem witch trials runs deep. Each street tells a story of characters that have participated. Just ahead, we'll go to the home that's linked to the start of the Salem witch trials.
Did you get that?
Did she jump?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It got her.
In the 70s, the film studio burnt down. And they needed a place to film. Those clever Hollywood people thought, hey, instead of making a fake set, why don't we just film in the Witch City?
Wow.
Those episodes are now known as the Salem Saga and featured many of the famous landmarks in Salem. And today, 100,000 people visit each weekend in October. In 2005, this statue was erected in the show's honour, sponsored by TV Land. In order for smugglers to hide their goods and avoid paying taxes, they dug an intricate system of tunnels below Salem, leading from the sea to many of the buildings in town. In total, the tunnels span 3 miles and still exist today.
Wow. Escapes.
Harry Houdini, or as many called him, the Great Houdini, arrived in Salem, putting on 3 unexplainably marvellous shows. But the old sheriff thought it was a fraud, so he challenged him to escape from this building, the Salem jail. Houdini was stripped naked and placed in 3 pairs of handcuffs, along with 2 sets of leg irons. He was then locked in the middle cell, thought to be the most secure. In only 13 minutes, Houdini escaped his cuffs, opened the neighbouring cell, freed the prisoner, and put on his clothing. Together with the freed prisoner, they walked to the front window, where the sheriff looked on in awe. Look for the white, slightly dilapidated house. This was once the home to the Peabody sisters, and is known as the Grimshaw House. Nathaniel Hawthorne met his wife, Sophia Peabody, in this very house, and they often took midnight strolls in the old burying point cemetery just next door. What a terrifyingly cute activity. Nathaniel Hawthorne, author of The Scarlet Letter and The House of the 7 Gables, has a great connection to this cemetery. 8 of his ancestors are buried here. Just past the Grimshaw house is the Old Point Burying Ground. It's the 2nd oldest burial ground in the US. As if the demons had instructed him to do so. He tortured and starved the child for days. When the wife finally spoke up against his actions, he dragged her outside by her hair, tied her to a tree, and poured hot wax all over her head until she slowly died.
Oh my God.
The man knew there was no hope and fled the house, leaving the dead wife and child behind. Walk around the house, following the red-painted trail to the right.
This one right here. We're following it.
Once you get to the side of the house, look up to the attic window on the 3rd floor.
We're here.
Today the daughter still resides in the attic, looking down at the tourists that pass, trapped for eternity in her own hell, waiting for her mother to save her. Look into the Salem
right here.
Witch Trail Memorial. Along the edge, you'll see the plaques of each of the 20 victims of the trials.
Wow.
Their names and date of death appear on each stone bench. This location was chosen so the dead could face their judge for eternity.
Okay, here are some of the Spooky Tours highlights. Harry Houdini escaped from the Salem jail. Nabby burnt up and haunts the Ropes mansion and roams the garden. Bewitched put Salem on the map, and then the statue's a hot tourist spot. The ghost of the Lady in Blue haunts Rockefeller, watch out. Giles Corey was pressed to death by, that was the wood. Salem's underground tunnels are haunted. The ghost of the Strangler lives in the Merchant Hotel. If those accused of being witches confessed they had lived, they were hung for not confessing. Okay, so we were just in Salem. We did our walking tour. It was a lot of fun, and looked at all the cool shops, did our EMF detector. It did go off a few times out in the street, but with UTs, which is magnetic, not the electromagnetic. So that was fun, but we had to come to Danvers, which is Old Salem, the original Salem. So we're here, and we're actually at an old insane asylum. It was like the old state hospital. So this is it. And this is actually the original clock tower, original build from it. So you know there's a lot of old history here. However, the crazy story, and it's real, you can look it up. A builder was building a whole apartment complex onto here, and the town witch said, you better not, it's gonna all burn down, it's gonna burn down. And sure enough, everything burnt down except the clock tower, original building. So I thought that was really interesting history.
Awesome.
Are you kidding me?
There's also a crap ton of power line.
There's power line. But that's the top thing beeping for the power lines. It's the... It stopped. Okay.
See, why would it stop?
Okay, it's starting again. This is weird. It only does it like when it's mid-level, because when it's here, I'm so confused by this.